Good evening. Here is the world news from BGI TV, Baba Bagede Imon TV. I am Rrør Lawal. First are the major headlines for the world news. Yorubas in Kwara advocate return to southwest geopolitical zone. Nigeria turned into theater of bloodshed, anguished by bandits under Buhari's regime. Buhari's governors using quacks to train Nigerian teachers, NTI. Fulani 8 men behind unrest in Kwara, OPC chieftain raises alarm. Late Queen Elizabeth was a sincere leader, Bishop Kuka. Gunmen kidnap popular supermarket owner in Kogi. Akwa Ibom principals, abductors demand 50 million naira. On foreign, Commonwealth doctors mourn late Queen Elizabeth II. And on sports, EPL matches postponed following Queen's death. Now the news in detail. A socio-cultural group, Yorubas in Kwara State, YKS, under the aegis of Akpako Yoruba Kwara, has canvassed for the return of the Yorubas people in the state to southwest geopolitical zone of the country. The group said that such move would go a long way to abide with the negotiated and agreed to by their founding fathers in 2014 National Conference. Speaking at a press conference in Ilorin yesterday, the spokesman of the YKS group, Mr. Samuel Adewoye, said that the immediate implementation of recommendations of the 2014 National Conference is sacrosanct, as the 1999 Constitution, as amended, does not adequately guarantee and take care of the interests of all the ethnic nationalities. Adewoye, whose speech was read by Mr. Jayola Omotosho, said that there is no doubt that Nigeria is on the brink, and in order to save it from total collapse, it is hereby strongly recommended that the federal government should urgently implement the recommendations of the 2014 National Conference by returning Nigeria to true federalism as negotiated and agreed to by our founding fathers. The recommendations also include the boundary adjustment, which will return Kwara State to the southwest geopolitical zone. In respect of Kwara State government, we emphasize the imperative of restoring the dignity, honor, and paraphernalia of Yoruba traditional institutions in the so-called Ilorin Emirate, Asha, Moro, Ilorin West, Ilorin East, and Ilorin South by grading and upgrading them like their counterparts in the other local governments of the states. The Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, has lamented the devastating impacts of bandits and other criminal elements terrorizing Nigeria have had on the country's economy and social life under President Muhammadu Buhari's regime. According to a statement issued on Thursday, Mr. Aregbesola urged operatives of Nigeria's Security and Civil Defense Corps and the CDC to be firm but civil in carrying out their responsibilities. The minister stated these are the inauguration of 93 operational vehicles for the NSCDC in Abuja. He said NSCDC's presence at all times should show the power and authority of Mr. Buhari's regime to data criminals. The ministry under my watch remains unwavering, resolute, and committed towards strengthening the capacity and capabilities of this organ of government to effectively deliver on its mandate, stated the minister. Today's occasion, therefore, is in pursuit of the radical and proactive steps by the federal government towards addressing the challenge of insecurity in the country. He added, this is as we take steady and bold steps to degrade the activities of some criminally minded unpatriotic individuals and saboteurs whose main agenda is to dwarf enormous achievements government has recorded in every sphere of national development. As we are all aware, there are challenges of vandalism of critical national assets, crude oil thefts, banditry, kidnapping, ritual killings, insurgency, among others that have become a cankerworm that must be eliminated. Still on the administration going on in Nigeria, the Director General of the National Teachers Institute, NTI, Musa Meitzafir, has accused President Muhammadu Buhari's regime and state governors of using quacks to train Nigerian teachers. The institute called on the regime to sanction illegal teachers training institutions in the country. Mr. Meitzafir made the call on Friday in Abuja on the sidelines of the 2022 Nationwide Capacity Building Teacher Training Workshop organized by the NTI. Many unauthorized organizations have hijacked the training of teachers at the expense of mandated and professional institutions in the country, the NTI boss lamented. There is a proliferation of private firms with no business in education and mandates to train teachers, but patronized by state and federal government agencies in training teachers at the detriment of the institution established by the laws. To another form of insecurity around the country. Coordinators of the Odua People's Congress, OPC, in Kwara State, Comrade Ganiyu Oladipupo, said Fulani herdsmen are behind the recent attacks in the state, warning bandits to stay away from the state or risk facing the wrath of the law. Oladipupo, while calling the Kwara State Commissioner of Police, CP, Amiembo Tuesday as Sayomo to investigate the crisis in the state, saying the group would not allow bandits to take over the state. Speaking against the backdrop of the recent attack on Comrade Rahimi Saadu, a member of the OPC in Ifelodun, local government area of the state, Oladipupo said report at his disposal indicated that 4 suspected herdsmen attacked the OPC member in his farm, very close to Maternity Hospital at Koko Town in the Felodun local government area of the state. The Kwara State OPC chieftain bemoaned the attack, insisting that it is the duty of the Nigeria police to ensure effective security across the state. Comrade Rahimi Saadu was attacked last Thursday in his farm by 4 suspected herdsmen. He was left in the pool of his blood by his attackers and has since been receiving treatment at an undisclosed hospital in the States. As regards the death of Queen Elizabeth II, there is a message from Bishop Kuka. The Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Bishop Matthew Asen Kuka, has described the late Queen Elizabeth II of England as a committed royal leader, well-loved for her sincerity and sense of purpose. Kuka told the news agency of Nigeria, NAN, in a telephone interview from Mina that as a leader, Queen Elizabeth was well respected because of the enormous goodwill she brought into governance. She was a compassionate and determined administrator, a peacemaker, and a bridge builder who stepped in to lead the Commonwealth nations effectively. The beautiful and gentle face of Queen Elizabeth had long become etched in the public memory across generations. She ascended the throne the year I was born and died on the significant date September 8th, which is the birthday of the Blessed Virgin Mary, of Mother of Jesus. It also marks my 11th Episcopal ordination anniversary. He explained that Queen Elizabeth's impact went beyond the UK and Commonwealth but the entire world. She will be remembered as a moral force in the world that has become severely fractured by hatred and other forms of extremism. Moving on to the next story from Kogi State. Unknown gunmen have kidnapped one Funke Ayodele, owner of a popular supermarket known as Cheapest Ladies and Kiddies Place. She was reportedly accosted at the gate of her house on Wednesday night after closing from her shop in Lokoja, the state's capital. An eyewitness said the woman was about to enter her compound at Baptist Church area in Ganaja, Lokoja, when the gun-wielding hoodlums, numbering up to 4, jumped on her, dragged her out from her car, and took her away to an unknown destination. The gateman and others who were at the gates when her assailants struck were reported to have scampered for safety when the hoodlums brought out guns and started shooting indiscriminately to scare people away. A family source noted that the woman was picked up around 9 p.m. by her abductors, who were alleged to be trailing her from her shop to Phase 2 area in Lokoja. She drove in, waiting for the gateman to open the gates of her house, when suddenly 4 boys dressed in black regalia stopped her at gunpoint and dragged her to the car. Moving on to Akwa Ibom State. The Akwa Ibom State Police Command has recorded headway in their hunt for the kidnappers of the Principal General of Madonna Community Secondary School in Oruk Anam local government area of the state, Mr. Monday Ekoriko, by recovering his stolen sports utility vehicle. This is as the kidnappers have established contact with the family, demanding 50 million naira or risk being killed if the demand is not met within the stipulated time frame. Erikori was abducted by unknown gunmen at his country home, Udianga NM village in Etim Airport, LGA, last Saturday on his way to attend a church service at the United Evangelical Church, which he personally built in the community. Speaking with newsmen on Friday in Uyo, the state capital, his eldest son, Menyene, said the hoodlums called me on phone and the number was hidden. saying we should already arrange 50 million naira before the father could be released. The discussion was so brief and sharp with a threat that some people have paid for my father to be killed, that only a higher amount would save him. Mayane added that his father's Lexus SUV, which the kidnappers used in whisking him away, had been recovered after he was abandoned at the Paraqua axis of Oruk Anam LGA. From that story, we'll go to the foreign story. Medical doctors in the Commonwealth countries under the umbrella of Commonwealth Medical Association, CMA, have condoled with the royal family of England on the death of the Queen Elizabeth II, who died on Thursday. CMA President Dr. Osman Enabule, in a condolence message to the royal family, said the CMA received with sadness the news of the demise of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II of the Commonwealth. He said, since being apprised by her death, our hearts have been laden with grief over our earthly transition. The CMA shares a deep sense of loss of the royal family, the people of the Commonwealth, and indeed citizens of the world over the loss. On behalf of the physicians from all over the Commonwealth countries, we offer our deepest and heartfelt condolences to the entire royal family, the government and people of the United Kingdom, and the people of the entire Commonwealth. Dr. Bulele said Her Majesty, the Queen of England, was globally known as a strong centripetal force and an ever-present supporter of the Commonwealth and its people. That concludes the foreign story, and we go to the sport. As regards the death of Queen Elizabeth II, the postponement of this week's games has been confirmed by the Premier League as a show of respect to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. On Friday morning, this was revealed in an official announcement. Richard Masters, Premier League Chief Executive, said, "We and our clubs would like to pay tribute to Her Majesty's long and unwavering service to our country. As our longest-serving monarch, she has been an inspiration and leaves behind an incredible legacy following a life of education. This is a tremendously sad time for not just the nation, but also for the millions of people around the world who admired her, and we join together with all those in mourning her passing." Further updates regarding Premier League fixtures during the period of mourning will be provided in due course. That concludes the world news from BGI TV. Before we go, some major headlines. Yorubas in Kwara advocates return to Southwest geopolitical zone. Nigeria turned into theater of bloodshed, ambushed by bandits under Buhari's regime. Buhari governors using quacks to train Nigerian teachers, NTI. And we're brought to you from the EPL. EPL matches postponed following Queen's death. For more updates on YouTube, our handle is Bababagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. On Instagram, Bagede Imo _22. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and function, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen for advert placements only. Good evening once again. I am Rrør Rabila Lawal.
Oh, na, na, na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, just into BGI TV. BGI TV.